In today's video, I'm gonna go through the best sniper builds in the Division 2 in year 6 and 2024. So I will go through both PvE and PvP builds and a few different snipers such as Mantis, Nemesis, and Model 700. So I will cover my favorite and what I think are the best sniper builds when it comes to bolt action in Division 2. I will have timestamps for the build so you can just go through it, but before that I would recommend to watch this first part here because I am gonna go through some stuff that is similar or the same for most of the builds. So starting with stats priority, so firstly on the gun itself, if you can, go damage to target out of cover. If you can't get that, then get damage to armor. When it comes to stat priority on the actual gear, we want to go for weapon damage, of course, as a main core attribute everywhere. And then the second attributes, we want to firstly go headshot damage everywhere, which is the most important for the damage. And then secondly, if we can, we want to go weapon handling to get faster reload speed, accuracy, and swap speed and all that. And for mod slots, we want to equip headshot damage as well. So a lot of these builds are going to be using either vigilance on the backpack talent, which grants you 25% amplified damage, right? Because it's just like gives you 25% more additional damage basically on what you're hitting. And the only thing is that you don't have to take damage, which is pretty easy as a sniper to not do, right? But even with that considered, I do prefer Ninja Bike when possible. And Ninja Bike usually offers, in the builds I do, it offers more survivability. And in case you don't know how Ninja Bike works, it just gives +1 in terms of brand set or gear set pieces equipped. So keep that in mind with a lot of the builds. You can use either of those usually, but you're gonna see a lot of Ninja Bike when it comes to the way I like to play sniper, because I like to be a bit closer and a bit more aggressive and not sitting super far back. So that's why Ninja Bike can be used in a lot of them. When it comes to PvE builds, on the chest we're gonna be using Headhunter, and specifically Perfect Headhunter, because it gives 25% more damage on killing blow, so that will increase your damage a lot. So the way that works is that every kill you get, headshot kill, will add basically more damage until you hit a cap, and that's extremely useful in PvE since you will be one-shotting a lot of NPCs, right, and just building up that damage. For PvP, that's nothing we want to use. For the PvP builds, not all of them, but for the most damage, you do want to use Glass Cannon. And in particular, Perfect Glass Cannon, which is called Sacrifice, which comes on the name Providence, is usually, in almost every case, I think, gonna give you more damage, even if you would equip Hasberg, for example. Like, Sacrifice, just as Vigilance, have amplified damage, and even though it just gives you 5% more amp damage, it's just gonna be more than anything else. However though, I don't use that for all of the builds, because for some of the PvP builds, we are already doing more than we need to, so there's no reason to take 10% more damage, right? So in case you don't see Sacrifice, that is why. Is before we go into the build, there's a lot of way you can build sniper builds, especially now with even Pathfinder coming to the game. So it's pretty hard to keep track and remembering every single gear set and brand set and how you use them, because there's so many different possibilities. So hopefully I do remember everything correctly here, but please let me know in the comment section if I messed something up, because I think it's gonna be extremely easy to do that. But hopefully everything will be as I was doing it before when I tested it. And with that said, if you're a new player, yeah, it's really easy to put something like this together. Use Araldi, use Hasberg, the 2-piece, use Pathfinder 2-piece or even 3-piece, and Hotshot 2 and 3-piece. And yeah, with the talents I went through before, and you should have a really hard-hitting build. So the first sniper build is gonna be a PvE determined build, which is just, in my opinion, the best build in the game. Is super good to farm open world, and just, yeah, it gives you survivability and all of that. So this is what I prefer to run when it comes to determined. We take a look at the gun first. Model 700 in terms of bolt action have the highest damage. Mantis will deal more damage because of the talent they got, even in PvP, so keep that in mind. But if you're running determined, Model 700 is gonna be your best bet. And if you don't know how determined works, you kill something with a headshot, and next shot will be a guaranteed headshot no matter where you hit. So it makes it really easy and fast to just chain hit all of the headshots, right, by just hitting the body. And as I went through earlier in the video, I run this one with Ninja Bike. We get 1 blue and 1 skill tier for free, right, which gives you more survivability. And on top of that, we are using Hasberg, right, 2-piece, which is amazing. And then Walker and Harris name chain killer for that perfect headhunter. And then also Hotshot that gives you marksman rifle damage on 2-piece and 3-piece headshot damage. And the 4-piece is just extremely good. It will give you more damage on the first shot that you hit. The headshot, of course. The second consecutive headshot will give you 10% armor. And then the third shot will refill the mag. And after the third shot on the fourth one, as long as you don't miss, you will keep getting all of those bonuses in every single shot, right? So bam, we get more damage on the next shot, right? We also have perfect headhunter here, so yeah, the damage numbers ain't gonna be that good. But I think what you should pay attention to is the bonus armor increasing all the time, and also just instantly refilling the mag. And that gives you some survivability as a sniper, and you don't have to reload the pesky model 700, so really, really good. And I like to run an orbit with the perfect finisher as a secondary. Because if you would hit with that, you will see that most of my... You should hit a headshot though. Most of my hits now are gonna be crits, because we get extremely high crit chance and crit damage from orbit. It gives you 35 crit chance and 40 crit hit damage for 15 seconds, so kill something and swap to your main gun, right? And in terms of skill, I think PvE wise you want to run Revive Hive just to have that extra life. And then second skill you can run whatever you like. PvE wise I usually prefer Decoy, or if you want to just see NPCs easier, just run a Pulse, but it's up to you. And specialization Sharpshooter, but also you can do whatever specialization you want. If we take a look at Determined, but in terms for PvP, it is built a bit different. So here I decide to go Ninja Bike, and then we go the new gear set Pathfinder. Pretty identical to Hotshot, but 25 marksman rifle damage on 2-piece and 30 headshot damage on 3-piece with some weapon handling. And then Hotshot have 30% marksman rifle damage and 30 headshot damage. So a lot of damage there. And then we finish it up with Hasberg, which also have headshot damage and marksman rifle damage. Worth the note here, you can run Araldi instead of like 2-piece Hotshot, but you will have a little bit less damage. This is the most damage you can get. But of course, swapping the Hasberg to Sacrifice will actually give you a bit more damage. I think this build I did 2.6 million in PvP. And with the Hasberg I do a little bit less, but it's like exactly enough to one-shot the tankiest people in the game. So you should be pretty good to go with that. Worth to note though is that I'm using the digital scope for the 2.6 million, and that comes from the Sharpshooter specialization, so you might want to run that. And in terms of skills when it comes to PvP, Dark Zone I would run Decoy, because it's harder for them to spot you with no nameplate and all that. And then Pulse, because the cooldown is really short. When it comes to Conflict, I would most likely just run Pulse as well, but then also add in the Sharpshooter Tactician drone just to have as good visibility on the enemies as possible. Yeah, so if we take a look at how the Mantis PvP build that I was running the most used to look like, it used to look like this. So with this one, as I said before, I do prefer Ninja Bike because it fits my playstyle more. And this one is also using Picaro, which gives a blue as a base, and the attribute, it gives 15% weapon damage. So it's like we're getting a blue for free because we just care about headshot damage, right? So this means that we have 2 blue, and on top of that also unbreakable. And this gives quite a lot of survivability, especially in comparison if you would play Glass Cannon. So with this patch, we got the new Pathfinder set, right? So we swap out the Araldi for the Pathfinder one, and we will gain some more damage. I have to do it like this because I haven't min-maxed that one yet, right? But basically like this. And this one in Dark Zone with my expertise deals 2 million on a player, which won't one-shot everyone, but it will almost one-shot everyone, right? And the fact that I have pretty good survivability, I like it. But then, of course, like even when I tested Quick yesterday, I did run into a player that survived this. So there is a way to get even more damage from this, right? Even without playing Glass Cannon. And that is to swap out my lovely Picaro, and you will equip 3 pieces of Pathfinder, right? You could use Hotshot, but this 3 piece gives also weapon handling, while Hotshot 3 piece only gives headshot damage, right? So this is how you can run it. This one deals around 2.3 million, which also won't one-shot everyone, but I think that one-shots 6 blue. I might be wrong, but I think it will do that. But there is a tanky... But when it comes to the tankiest build, you want to reach 2.6 million. And yeah, this one won't do that. What you can do to increase that damage, of course, and one-shot everything is just to equip Glass Cannon. You want to try it for 2.6 million. And if you're running Glass Cannon, I'm pretty sure you can even run Picaro, because you will be hitting so freaking hard. But if you don't want to run Glass Cannon, you can look at the talent Focus, which will give 5% every second you aim, up to 50% weapon damage. And this one will, especially if you charge it full, will give you a lot of damage. The problem for me is that I don't like to sit in the scope for that long. But I can use this to get additional damage, because I might be in the scope half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds, and it will give me at least a little bit of damage. So Focus is definitely something you could run. The issue when it comes to Mantis though is to one-shot everything, you need to have Glass Cannon. And that's where I think that this build struggles. So instead of doing that, I would just recommend to play Determined if you want to go for one-shot. Because I mean, the Determined build is doing 2.6 million, which will one-shot every single build in the game. So why run Mantis when you can one-shot the body as well? Sadly, I find Determined really cheesy, and I do want to play Mantis. But if I have to use Glass Cannon to achieve the same thing, then I mean, I'm feeling forced to play Model 700 with Model 700, right? Determined, sadly. But this is the ways I would do the Mantis one for PvP. And last but not least, pretty simple build here that hits really hard when it comes to Nemesis. And in case you're a new player and you don't know how Nemesis works, basically you charge up to 100% and you get insane damage, right? So you have the gun out and you hold down mouse 1, you see it charge up, and then you just let go and you get really high damage. And with this one set up like this, mine is not even min-max, you can hit like 60 million. Keep in mind though, you can use Nemesis on the other builds as well. Of course, I would not recommend it in PvP, because then you would have to do a different type of build. But I don't see it as a sniper build, so I am not gonna make a build and show that. So if you're trying to find that, you're on your own, okay? So with this one, you just use Araldi with Vigilance and the same Chain Killer set here as well. As you can see, they are not min-maxed. And then just 4-piece Hotshot. Extremely simple build to do, but extremely good as well. With this Hotshot build as well, that I like to use instead of Ouroboros, you just equip a Nemesis and you go double sniper, right? But I thought I would just show how simple it is to build that one. But I think that covers all the best sniper builds that are my favorites. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite sniper build is. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these builds. And make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Division 2 videos, because I have a lot of videos planned, and especially now until June ends, I'm gonna go pretty hard on YouTube. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on twitch.tv/widdz or in my next YouTube video.